The introduction of the Man in Yellow has led to plenty of speculation about his identity, backstory, and role in From, with one such theory suggesting that an established resident will eventually become him. At the end of From Season 3, several major revelations are uncovered about the history of the town, certain characters being reincarnated across various timelines, and a new villain who previously made a voice appearance in Season 1. These discoveries created just as many questions for From Season 4 as they solved, but it seems they may all be connected to the ominous Man in Yellow. In From Season 3 finale, Jim walks to the RV as a flustered Julie tells him to go back into town. Suddenly, a mysterious Man in Yellow arrives, tells Jim that knowledge comes with a cost, reminds him that Tabitha shouldn't have dug that hole, and rips out Jim's throat. The shocking scene hints that he may be responsible for Framville's horrors, or at least has some control over the town. His abrupt appearance and murder of Jim still leave the mystery of who the Man in Yellow actually is, with some theories speculating that a well-established character becomes him. Randall becomes the Man in Yellow, popular From theory explained. A popular fan theory claims Randall eventually turns into the supernatural figure. A growing fan theory since From Season 3 finale has suggested that Randall will eventually turn into the Man in Yellow, via Reddit. For one, there's a striking physical resemblance between the two From characters, with their haircuts and general appearances quickly drawing comparisons from viewers. Even before the Man in Yellow was officially introduced, the similarities between the characters were noted after Tabitha saw Miranda's paintings. While this has largely been based on the physical similarities between the two, there are some additional details about Randall's character that make such a twist a possibility. Of course, it would be many years before he could become the Man in Yellow, as the mysterious figure is much older than Randall, who is seemingly in his late 20s. The idea that the Man in Yellow could still appear in Randall's same timeline doesn't create a plot hole, however, as From Season 3 revealed that time travel exists within Fromville, and not everyone operates on a linear passage of time. If Randall is the Man in Yellow, then he may be returning to the present to warn the residents and prevent them from breaking the town's cursed cycle. According to the fan theory, one major source of supporting evidence that Randall could become the Man in Yellow is that he's experiencing unique supernatural attacks from the town. Something unexplainable is happening as Randall continues hearing the cicadas, and it could be the town's way of bending him to its will and making him the location's supernatural protector. Julie also heard the cicadas and screams before becoming a story walker, so Randall could also be revealed as a story walker who eventually turns on the residents as the menacing Man in Yellow. Not to mention, Randall is already extremely isolated from the others, and his abrasive nature makes it difficult to become part of the community. The town might be working to gradually divide him further from the other residents and using his anger to transform him into something even more powerful than From's nocturnal monsters. Furthermore, the monsters spared Randall when Boyd exchanged his life for the ambulance keys, which could be interpreted as part of the town's plan to make him the Man in Yellow. Of course, there are some issues with this fan theory that make it less likely. Randall's scar creates a problem with From's Man in Yellow theory. The Man in Yellow doesn't have this scar. A major rebuttal to this theory is the fact that Randall now has a large scar on his face after being attacked by From's monsters. The scar is clearly visible on his face and isn't something that would fade into being undetectable after decades. However, the Man in Yellow doesn't have this scar on his face, which is a huge indication that they're not the same person. It could potentially be explained away by Randall eventually using some type of magic or supernatural power to make it disappear, but that seems unlikely. If the show wanted to introduce a twist in which Randall becomes the Man in Yellow, it would still need that through line of those key physical similarities to link them across timelines. Without that scar, it's more difficult to believe that From is trying to tell audiences that the two characters are connected. Randall becoming the Man in Yellow would be taking From's new immortality twists too far. From doesn't need another multiple timeline identity twist. Jade looking at Tabitha in the snow in From Season 3. With all the mysteries that still surround this reveal, it's fun to theorize about who the Man in Yellow is and whether he could be tied to an existing character. However, certain theories actually becoming realities might cheapen the impact of From's other twists and the weight that they carry in still keeping the characters and this unknown place grounded in reality. From already revealed that Jade and Tabitha are reincarnations of Christopher and Miranda, so making Randall the Man in Yellow would undermine this twist by overdoing the reincarnation plot. That if Randall, Jade, and Tabitha all turn out to have multiple identities within Fromville across various timelines, then where does it stop? Could Boyd also be reincarnated from another former resident? There are also theories that Fatima later becomes the Kimono Woman. If every character in From has some sort of immortality or future past identity as a different character, then it all becomes too contrived and the power of such revelations becomes insignificant. Rather than making Randall the Man in Yellow, From should make the latter figure his own distinct villainous entity.